All right, so this is going to be a reading for Virgo. And for the Virgo that I'm speaking to today, I'm seeing a lot of forward movement for you, and I'm seeing that you're moving towards some type of desire or some type of path that's really meaningful to you, but you may not know exactly how it's going to turn out or in what way, and you're kind of just guided by the light of your passion, which is very positive, and I'm really happy to see you doing this, Virgo. It could be kind of requiring you to get out of your comfort zone or to step into the unknown in a new way. So I'm going to dive into these energies in a moment. But before I do, I just want to say thank you so much for being here, Virgo, and for receiving this reading. If you would like to lend your energy to the channel to help me manifest messages that resonate more for you specifically, you can like and subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, I do offer personal readings. You can email me down below in the description box. But let's get into it, Virgo. So, like I said, whatever it is that you're moving towards here, you're moving towards it from a place of the way that it makes you feel and the positivity that it makes you feel. So, this is something that makes you feel really happy. It could feel like you feel totally balanced when you engage in this or when you think about this. There's this feeling of moving towards something that makes you happy for you, and no one else. And with the oracle cards today being conditioning, the burden, and new vision, not only is this requiring you to step out of your comfort zone, it's really a process of leaving behind everything you thought you knew, leaving behind an old worldview or something that you were taught, maybe some types of limiting beliefs. Or just an entire way of being that wasn't really serving you. And so there could have been something in your conditioning or the way that you were raised that kind of weighed on you in the sense that it made you feel like you had to be a certain way or do a certain thing or follow a certain path. And with New Vision, I see you really breaking out of that cage so that you can move towards what it is that you truly desire and what it is that truly makes you happy and feels like wish fulfillment for you alone, even if it doesn't necessarily fit how other people see the world or what other people maybe envisioned for you or what it was that you were raised to believe. So a very positive and inspiring energy for you today, Virgo. Let's jump into the reading more specifically. In the recent past, I see you kind of having this light bulb moment of, oh my God, this is what I desire, this is what I want, and really realizing, okay, I'm going to move towards it without a second thought. And you kind of take off in that direction. In the current energy, it seems like maybe it's not moving as quickly as you wanted it to, or maybe there are some real world things that are coming up for you, some material constraints, just more like the reality of whatever's going on around you kind of hitting you. And there could be this feeling of, as soon as you got started, feeling kind of weighed down of like, oh my God, like there's so much going on here, or there's more here than I was expecting, or just that this isn't quite working out the way that you thought it was going to work out, and then kind of wondering like, okay, like am I really on the right path? Is this really going to work out for me in the long term? Because it could feel like there's a bit of a rejection in this situation because of the energies not going the way that you had thought that they would go initially. But I don't necessarily think it's a rejection. I think it's just you kind of, when you step into the unknown, you kind of step into the dark and you can't always see what's going on right in front of you or, you know, what the next step is necessarily going to be. And it really requires you to have a sense of faith, to have some faith in the universe and some faith in yourself, your intuition, and what it is that you desire in the first place. So let's take a look at what it is that has gotten you so excited, Virgo. This is something that your higher self kind of tells you, you know, engaging in this is an act of love. Like by doing this, you're loving yourself, you're showing yourself love. And so it feels almost divinely guided. I am getting goosebumps. So many of you, this could be tied to something spiritual, or it could feel like pursuing this as part of your spiritual path, even if it's not something directly spiritual, like spiritual work or something like that. Like it could be that you're really passionate about performing. And when you perform, you feel more aligned with your higher self, something like that. And you're showing me that you had a bit of a light bulb moment around this, and so you set off towards it. Let's take a look at that light bulb moment. There's this feeling of kismet of everything really aligning here, of being like, wow, I could really be good at this. Um, you're showing me that it would allow you to harmonize the masculine and feminine energies within yourself. We all have masculine and feminine energies within us, and it's something that would make you feel really balanced within yourself and kind of whole. You're saying, I would feel not only good connecting with other people around this, but connecting with myself. And it's almost like you see a version of yourself that's possible, and you're like, wow, I just want to go towards that potential. Like, I see that if I choose to move towards this, it could feel really good, and I could feel really good about myself. And so you're kind of showing me this intuitive download, this feeling of, I know what the right path is for me. I know that this would make me feel aligned, and you can almost like taste it on the tip of your tongue or feel it at the edge of your fingertips, how much potential this has for you. And so then I see you just setting off towards it in a really passionate and beautiful way here. The Knight of Wands is also a very sexual energy, so it's an energy of someone who is very driven from a place of passion for this. It almost is like this kind of kick-started you out of whatever energy you were in before. So if you felt like maybe you were in a bit of a slump, or things weren't moving forward, or if you were kind of stuck in, what's the word that I'm looking for? You were stuck in place, feeling kind of stagnant in particular. Maybe you were just in your comfort zone, staying home a lot. There's this feeling of your emotions getting kickstarted, your passion getting kickstarted. Maybe it feels like, oh wow, you finally have something to be excited about again. And so then you start to move towards this, and it feels really, 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 really good. But then all of a sudden in the current energy, I see it kind of coming to a sudden stop, and maybe some fears and anxieties around your sense of security coming up because of this sort of break in the energy. Let's take a look at that. Oof, there's this feeling of, yes, this makes me really happy. Yes, this is everything I've ever wanted. But there's almost this feeling of being like abandoned by it. So like going out to meet that energy, being really excited, choosing to move towards this, but feeling like the energy just isn't coming towards you. So maybe if we go back to the performance analogy, maybe you're ready to perform, you're really confident, you're feeling really good, but you start going for auditions and you're not getting callbacks or something. And so you start to wonder, do I have to leave this behind because this is leaving me behind? And then that feeling of rejection starts bringing up some type of fear or anxiety. Is this really the right choice? Am I being realistic? How am I supposed to make this work if the energy is not lining up? And that kind of energy. And then as that starts to happen, you start to move away from your desire because you're not sure if it's going to work out. You're not getting immediate results, and it's making you very insecure in some way. They're showing me I'm kind of exhausted of trying to make this work in reality. Like, I have this big dream, I have all these hopes, I have this vision, I can see the potential. Oh, but when it comes to actually manifesting it in the 3D, lining up opportunities for this and making this happen, I'm really exhausted. I put a lot into this, I put a lot of energy into this, I'm really excited, and it's just not really panning out in the 3D. And so it really triggers some fears for you. Feels for sure, triggers some feels for you, some feelings, triggers an emotional response. And that emotional response is that you become very guarded. You're like, well, if the energy is not going to meet me, why should I keep going, essentially, is what I'm kind of getting for you. You're saying, I need to be realistic. That Virgo energy is kind of coming out of, well, if this isn't going to work, should I even put my energy into it? You really want that external validation of I'm making the right choice, and it's showing up in a concrete sort of way. Yeah, again, you're showing me I'm really disappointed that I haven't found that validation. It could feel really lonely for you, like you don't have the support from the universe that you're looking for, or maybe even other people. You kind of end up looking for just a drop of support, like, will anyone, come out and support me? And when you feel like you haven't received that support, it feels like rejection. But there's kind of an underlying message here of do it because it makes you happy. Do it because it makes you excited. Not because anyone else is cheering you on, although that can definitely help. This is really going to have to be fueled by your own passion, your own creativity, your own excitement. And remember that you're doing it for yourself. and no one else. And it's interesting because the overall energy for the reading is the Six of Swords, which is about forward movement, even when things are difficult and moving towards healing. And I'm actually seeing in the Six of Swords, there's this image of a boat, and the boat's being rowed with this oar. But we don't really see the full length of the boat in the picture. It kind of extends beyond the frame. And I think out of sight in your Six of Swords moving forward boat is an engine. And the engine that we're not really seeing is how happy it makes you and your desire and your passion. And as soon as you start to make your happiness and your passion dependent on external validation, you start to kind of lose fuel, you start to lose steam. And so it's really important that you have the faith to follow your vision, even if it's not necessarily receiving the external validation that you are used to, or that you're expecting, or that you're wanting. Spirit's saying with the King of Pentacles coming out here, in the end, the energy is going to come out to meet you. It just may feel like it's not coming. And so you're going to have to push through that and really dig deep within yourself to keep going, to open up, and to open up to things happening in unexpected ways, or receiving this, further down the line, even if it doesn't show itself right now. And it's almost like a test of faith, Can you sustain your own energy? Can you sustain your passion? Can you sustain your desire, even if you're the only person on earth who believes in it? Because that's how you end up succeeding, really. Let's get 3 cards of advice from the universe. I love this advice. The advice is that your passion is trying to show you something. Your passion will lead you in the right opportunities. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, you're not sure where to go next, go with your heart. Follow your heart. Go with what makes you happy, and just go step by step. You don't have to eat the whole cake in one sitting. You don't have to build Rome in a day. You just have to take one more step and just keep going towards this vision and follow your happiness. Do what makes you feel good. So that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that this helps. I hope that this resonates, and I'll see you next time.